Hello and welcome to Some of the Answers with Jen and Jamie. This is the official podcast of Third Eye Family Solutions, where we help you find a new perspective that will empower you to live a life of your dreams. Each week, we explore topics that are designed to help you face the challenges that come with life. We don't have all of the answers, but we do have some of them. So join us as we share our thoughts, ideas, and advice to bring your ideal self into focus. Hello, welcome, and happy spring. At least it's spring where I am, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere. I know I have a couple Southern Hemisphere listeners, so happy fall to you. Here in Utah, our first day of spring on the equinox, we had a snowstorm because it's Utah, so of course we did. It's today, however, a couple days later, it's bright and sunny outside. It's only 43 degrees, but it's supposed to get up to about 60 again today. And, when you live in a climate like I do, 60 degrees in the spring is like 90 in the summer. It just is perfect weather. You want to get out there in your shorts and your t-shirts and start digging around in the dirt and all that. And that's really what this conversation is about today, is the kind of the rites of spring. It's a time of year where, for me, it's more so than any other seasonal change. It has a drastic effect on both my body and my mind. We're getting more sunlight, right? The days in the Northern Hemisphere are getting longer. We have warmer temperatures, so we want to be outdoors more. We have a lot of sunshine, and for me, it just makes me want to get out there. I love to garden. I have a very large garden, not as large as I used to. At one point, we had half an acre, but I also had a lot more people working on that half-acre garden. But I love to garden, and this is my time of year where I can really start to get out and, prep some of the beds and plant some of the seeds like radishes and carrots and let's see what else is going in. Kale, right? Some turnips, some of those things that can handle, because we're still going to have some frosts. We're going to still have some cold snaps because, again, it's Utah. But those things that can handle it, right? And I just love this period where it's not only that sense of a shift in seasons, but also a sense in creating something new. So that's really what I wanted to talk about today, is that whole world of, spring and what it brings up for all of us. For many people, this time of year, we start to step out of the seasonal depression we've been experiencing, and it becomes normal. The seasonal depression becomes normal, right? Because it's just from the moment fall hits and the days get shorter, our mental state kind of is on a decline, and then we're just sort of down in those low points for however long it lasts. And then all of a sudden the sun comes out and we go, oh my gosh, I did not realize how awful I was feeling until now, where I suddenly am starting to feel so much better, right? And, spring just in general, right? The world is waking up. Plants are starting to grow. We've got flowers coming up in people's yards. We've got, I looked out my bedroom window this morning and noticed buds on the tree. And I thought, oh, yay, we're going to have leaves soon. I'm not just going to be looking at this stick off my back little deck. So the world's waking up and we wake up with it. Our bodies are very, very much in tune with the cycles of the earth. It's why we want to sleep more in the winter. It's why we, get these energy bursts in the summer. And it's why we tend to, want those comforting, warming foods in the fall that put on a little bit of extra pounds for us so we can make it through the winter, because biologically it wasn't that long ago where the winter meant food would be scarce, right? And for me, spring is the biggest, it has more of an effect on me than the other seasonal changes do. So, there's a lot of things people start to do in the spring, right? We have spring cleaning. That's a big one, right? Spring cleaning time, yay. And, there's some great parts of that, right? Like we are dusting things off and getting ready to be alive in the world again, I guess you could say. We're going to be out in the sunshine. We're going to be outdoors. We're going to, take the covers off the outdoor furniture, or, in our case, take it out of the shed and put it back out in the yard. All of those things that kind of represent getting back to life being bigger and getting back to us being more productive. And I don't mean productive like work, although, that can happen as well, but productive like just creating, right? Creating's probably like doing more creating is probably a better way to say it than being productive. So, one thing I wanted to say about that whole idea of spring cleaning, or you could say cleansing is maybe even a better word for it, is that it's a wonderful ritual to partake in. And it doesn't actually matter what that means to you. I mean, if for you that means cleaning the entire house top to bottom, including the corners of every closet, great, go for it. If for you what that means is moments to stop, reflect, and look at what in my life is working and what's not working. What do I want to keep? What do I want to let go of? What do I want to begin to create? Or what have I been creating that I want to stop creating? Whatever those conversations are, right? It doesn't have to be physical cleaning that we're talking about. So I want to invite everyone to use a bit of that spring energy that hopefully you're all getting. Take a bit of that spring energy and put it towards, what do I want to create next? It's been a ritual for me for years to make a vision board, right? And when I usually do that is right at right around a year's, right? Kind of the standard. That's what we do. The year's ending. What am I want to create for next year? And the last couple of years I haven't done that. To be honest, I did that in for 2020, and so much of what was on my board was like these adventures we had planned and these places we were going to go, and we didn't get to do any of it. And I felt kind of, I'll leave it with disappointed. I felt disappointed that most of what was on my vision board was thwarted by the realities of the world. And, and then December of 2020, right, going into 2021, which is when I would normally have made a vision board again, I had just had open heart surgery. I was literally, on New Year's Eve, I think I was a week out of the hospital. I was home 3 days before Christmas, so 10 days before New Year's, right? I was in no shape to be creating anything. The only thing I could create was like gaining back my daily independence. Oh, wow, I can actually go pour myself a glass of water today. That was the level of creating I was doing. And I ended up not making a 2021 vision board at all. So when it came time to make one for 2022, and it was, same time of year, kind of that December, right, going to January, I was just uninspired. I really had no desire to do it. And it was, I think it was 3 weeks ago. So I think it was the first week of March when I was inspired to do that. And what I loved about that was I don't want to say it had become a chore to make a vision board, because I've always enjoyed doing it, but it had become a little bit of an obligation. Like, oh my gosh, the year's ending. I've got to do it. I've got to do my vision board now for the year. And I actually felt so much better this year waiting until inspiration hit. And it hit on a day. It was beautiful and warm and sunny outside. Now I say warm and we're talking maybe 50 degrees, but again, right, better than the 20-degree winter temperatures. And the sunshine, the sun was out. And that's what inspired me. And so I just feel like now, going into my next years of life, right? So I'm 50, probably have another 40 to 50 more years to go. If I continue to do vision boards, I think I'm going to wait till this spring. Wait till this time of year where I have that burst of wanting to create. I have that burst of wanting to take on new things and wanting to, plan adventures. I just spent a couple days planning 3 trips, right? So I think it's just an opportunity. Even if you already did make a vision board in December or January, great, that's wonderful. But what else? What now? Looking from now, which is a time of creation, it is a time of cleansing, it is a time of moving forward in a way that, fall and winter kind of moves us back a little. It moves us into eat a little extra calories, right? All of that, and rest more and be indoors more and kind of hover around the fire more, those sorts of things. And this time of year brings us out more. It brings us forward. In this moment and time of moving forward, when you look, what is it you want to create? What do you want to let go of? And what do you want to take on? What do you want to create? And what do you want to stop doing? It's just an opportunity. It's really calling to me, and I know it's been calling to several of the people that I work with to do similar things, and we've had very similar conversations to that here in my office. So I just wanted to invite the rest of you to do the same, as it's a great time of year to do that. I know I missed the equinox by a couple of days, so if you're very much tied to the calendar piece of it, my apologies. But if you can just embrace the generality of the time of year, it's a great time to do that. So happy spring. Enjoy all of your various celebrations that come along with that, and enjoy this. I hope you enjoyed this podcast, and we'll be back soon. We hope you enjoyed this episode of Some of the Answers. To learn more about Jen, Jamie, or Third Eye Family Solutions, log on to thirdeyefamilysolutions.com. That's third, THIRDIEYE, familysolutions.com. Some of the Answers podcasts can be found on Spotify, iTunes, Google Music, Stitcher, and Podbean. This podcast is the property of Third Eye Family Solutions, copyright 2020, and the music is owned fully by Gabe Schwartz. Join us next time for Some of the Answers.